Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. A lot of people were excited to hear from MJ because we finally got a chance to hear what he had to think about some of the major issues that are affecting the NBA. The last show that we did made a lot of headway. Then Shams got exposed in the process of that. But one of the major topics that people were looking for Michael Jordan to address was load management, right? People were really eager to hear what MJ had to say because load management had become such a big problem for the NBA, and it was something that was turning off a lot of customers. At one point, the commissioner, Adam Silver, was advocating for it, saying that, the science is saying this, the science is saying that. And at the time, I was like, this makes no sense. How can you build up a callus for something by doing it inconsistently? The more you do something, the more your body is able to adapt. It seemed pretty rudimentary to me, and it seems like if you're inconsistent with something, that's what would lead to injuries. I mean, this made sense. Come on, it just made perfect sense to me. But for whatever reason, they were trying to apply this kind of pseudoscience to it and saying, oh, no, it works and all of this. And then later on, we found out that it didn't work. And the commissioner then came out and said that, look, we've discovered that the science doesn't support this. I'm like, what science were you using to begin with, right? But load management had become very rampant in the NBA, where stars were missing games left and right. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. It was just becoming ridiculous. Even on marquee matchups, big television games on the road, players would just be sitting out for no reason, and it was absolutely inexplicable. Absolutely inexplicable. So during the interview on NBC Sports, they brought up this very topic, right? And I think Mike Tirico asked MJ. The title of the show was Michael Jordan, every game is an opportunity to prove. And they were talking about load management. So what we want to do now is we want to play exactly what Michael Jordan had to say, because it has a lot of people talking. And I want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to MJ here.
The term load management has become such a hot button in the NBA.
How I know you were going to talk about that one?
Because you played 80 games a lot. You played 82. What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me, and I want to shut him up. He's calling me all kinds of names. I definitely want to shut him up.
Right.
You have a duty that if they're wanting to see you, and as an entertainer, I want to show, right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
So give me the first time that you came to that fork in the road in your career where you could have sat down and missed a game, but you fought through.
Started my career.
Okay.
I twisted my ankle. And I had a teammate. He says, "You twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. This is you need to." I said, "No, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact." And I twisted my ankle. I taped it up, and I went back out, and I played. I always felt that. I always felt the necessary need that I could never leave my comrades out if I could perform, right? Even if I couldn't. Utah, great example. Everybody said the flu game. It's game 5, which is a very pivotal game. I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. Well, once I got out there, you never know how, pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right?
So that night you got out there and you found you could do more than you thought you were going to be able to do.
Next thing you know, the emotions, the situation, the need of the team, all those things catapulted me to, I'm going to gut this thing out. Back to your point of what load management is, you play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work or your next, challenge. Now, I'm the worst. Maybe I'm not one of the guys that you would probably model that, or
I was going to say, did you do that every time?
But you should think about that in retrospect of what load management really is. I always felt like one is a sense of pride for the fans that are paying.
Right.
Two is a sense of making sure that I stay sharp. I'm not going to lose it. And three, I want our rhythm as a team to always be there. It can disrupt that synergy that's happening.
So you heard what Michael Jordan had to say. What is my immediate reaction to that? I think that MJ hit the nail on the head, and I also think that these comments from Michael Jordan prove that MJ he understood the mindset of a fan, right? You can tell that. Kobe was the same way, but MJ really understood the mindset of a fan. It meant something to him to perform every single night. And Michael Jordan was a guy that has played 82 games multiple times and played over 80 games multiple times in an NBA season. But it meant that much to him to go out there and put on a show for him. I also think that Michael Jordan, his comments, really exposed this modern era guys, man. And I'm going to tell you why. Because even after what Jordan said, they brought up this topic with the NBC crew, which featured Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony. And would you believe Carmelo Anthony was still playing both sides of the fence on this issue? He was like, I understand why guys are doing it, but I also get what Melo was saying was this. And I think that what these guys have understood is that if I can play less games throughout a regular season, it would extend my career because I can play longer, in which case I can now make more money. Which really gets to the heart of the issue, which is this thing is all about money, right? It's all you will rarely find an NBA player that is genuinely concerned about the fans and the competition of it all. It's like very few guys are like, I want to play all the time. I want to play all the time. Very few. Now, one of the people like that is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, if he can, he'll play. But most guys are more thinking about their brands. They're thinking about, okay, if I play these amount of games, I can save more time on my body, then I can earn more money. That's what the entire game is about. And you know the saddest part about this? These people will never be remembered. They will never be remembered. Isn't it funny how that works? Isn't it crazy that MJ put it all on? Even Michael Jordan at the age of 40, he was playing 82 games. At the age of 40, he played 82 games. Banged up. He still went out there and played. He still went out there. So if Michael Jordan can do it as great as he is, as accomplished as he is, who are you to not do it? Who are you? And this is what I keep saying. This is the cupcake era. And some of these younger fans wonder why some of us here in our 30s don't. Well, why don't you like them? No, we don't like them. I don't like people that are half-assing their work, that are just selling the fans short. No, you're not. And you're not going to turn around and tell me, oh, man, this is fantastic what you're watching. It's not. So stop trying to tell me it is. If you like it, like it. But don't go out there and say stupid things like, oh, this is the greatest ever. Just spare me with your nonsense. Spare me with your nonsense. So I'm very happy to hear from Jordan because now we're finally hearing from another authority figure who's giving us something different from what we've been getting from most of these guys for over the last 5 years. And it's refreshing. My God, it's refreshing. People keep talking about, oh, Michael Jordan should be the commissioner. They will hate him. They will hate him. Do you know why? Because he will have too many expectations. He's like, what are you doing for the rest of the year? Like 2-3 hours. What are you doing for the rest of the day? I think it was fantastic, and it's good to hear from Michael Jordan again. As you guys know, Michael Jordan made a lot of news yesterday because NBC Sports decided to publish another clip from a longer interview. And in this particular clip, they were addressing the subject of load management, right? And as MJ was talking, you just couldn't help but thinking about one particular guy. And that guy is one LeBron James. Why are we thinking about him? Because LeBron James has been the face of the NBA for a long time now, right? And he has been the one that's meant to set the standard. And under his watch, or on his watch, things have just fallen apart. Ratings are in the toilet. Players, they don't care anymore. The All-Star game is a joke. Now you have to incentivize guys to play through an entire season, which they're being paid for. And it's just become a total mess. Right? So as we're witnessing all of this erosion take place, a lot of us were like, can Michael Jordan say something about this? Can he say something about this? And boy, oh boy, did he. Take a listen to what Jordan had to say here.
The term load management has become such a hot button in the NBA.
How I know you were going to talk about that one?
Because you played 80 games a lot. You played 82. What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, you know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me, and I want to shut him up. You know, he's calling me all kinds of names. I definitely want to shut him up.
Right.
You have a duty that if they're wanting to see you, and as an entertainer, I want to show, right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
So give me the first time that you came to that fork in the road in your career where you could have sat down and missed a game, but you fought through.
Started my career.
Okay.
I twist my ankle. And I had a teammate. He says, "You twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. You know, this is you need to." I said, "No, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. You know, I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact." And I twisted my ankle. I taped it up, and I went back out, and I played. I always felt that. I always felt the necessary need that I could never leave my comrades out if I could perform, right? Even if I couldn't. Utah, great example. You know, everybody said the flu game. It's game 5, which is a very pivotal game. I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. Well, once I got out there, you know, you never know how, you know, pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right?
So that night you got out there and you found you could do more than you thought you were going to be able to do.
Next thing you know, the emotions, the situation, the need of the team, you know, all those things catapulted me to, I'm going to gut this thing out. You know, back to your point of what load management is, you know, you play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work or your next, you know, challenge. Now, I'm the worst. Maybe I'm not one of the guys that you would probably model that, or you know.
I was going to say, did you do that every time?
But you should think about that in retrospect of what load management really is. I always felt like one is a sense of pride for the fans that are paying.
Right.
2 is a sense of, you know, making sure that I stay sharp. You know, I'm not going to lose it. And 3, I want our rhythm as a team to always be there. It can disrupt that synergy that's happening.
So you heard what he had to say. Well, it looks like I wasn't the only one thinking the same thing because some other accounts started posting on it. Let me put up some images here. This is from Front Office Sports. It says, "It shouldn't be needed. Michael Jordan on load management." This is from Front Office Sports. This is not from me. Look at the thumbnail that they put up there. That's LeBron James. It says, "Michael Jordan says load management should not be needed in the NBA." Jordan said on NBA on NBC segment, "MJ's insights to excellence. The players have a duty to perform for the fans that are paying big money to watch them play." You have another post here from Yahoo Sports that says, "You play basketball 2.5 hours, 3 hours a day. What are you doing the other 21 hours?" And then we have another one here from Bleacher Report. "You play basketball," it says the same thing on load management. And we just can't help but think about LeBron. Because this load management era has really proliferated under his watch. Under his watch. We then hear stories that During the All-Star game, they had to go get players like Larry Bird to go try to coax these guys to put on a good show. And then LeBron James basically gave Larry Bird a side eye and everybody else, and the guys went out there and laid an egg. Right? So LeBron, this directly reflects on him. Why? Because when Jordan played, there was a standard. And the standard that Jordan left was the one that Kobe continued. And then when Kobe left, he left the standard, and then LeBron James took over. But ever since it got to LeBron, the entire thing is falling apart. It became about player empowerment. It became about the brand. It became about super teams and doing what's best for you, holding organizations hostage. That's been pretty much what it's been. The competition became an afterthought. It's one of the reasons why the NBA had to implement the second apron, because everybody wants to play together. All of these guys want to play together. These guys don't want to compete anymore. All right? And it's a direct indictment on LeBron James himself, because he's been the face of the league. And a lot of this has gone on during his time as the face of the NBA. And you're understanding why so many people like Jordan versus so many people dislike LeBron. It's clear. People are applauding Jordan for the things that he's saying. Look, you would never get anything like this out of LeBron. Never. If it ain't got nothing to do with him in particular, he doesn't care. If it's not affecting him personally, he doesn't care. You think LeBron James is going to go out there and make statements like this that are about the game? Of course not. Of course not. He wouldn't. So this is the reason why so many people are standing up and clapping for Jordan. If you read some of the comments under the post, people are like, thank you. A player that actually cares about fans. It just kept on going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Even the people that say, oh, Jordan took off time. Jordan took off time. And in those times, he had 3 three-peats. And if you go look at the games played, when Jordan was playing, he was always playing. What about the guys that have been here for 20 plus years that are just coasting through? Taking games off here, taking games off there, lollygagging here, lollygagging there, not playing defense here, not playing defense there. Do you know you know how old Michael Jordan was when he made an all-defensive team? His last 35 years old. 35. He made an all-first defensive team at 35. So when he was still playing, he was still in his prime, putting in work, playing defense. LeBron made his last all-defensive team at 30. LeBron hasn't played defense going on 13 years. So even when Jordan was here, he was still putting forth the effort. We can't say the same about LeBron James, man. So many people wonder why, people dislike LeBron. It's for reasons like this, man, because people are looking at him like, yo, how are you allowing this to happen under your watch? That's why people dislike him. So this video was inspired by a video that I was watching earlier today from Sports and Fitness Rants. And the name of the topic, let me just see if I can find it. He goes, LeBron James needs to stop being mentioned with Jordan and Kobe. So that was the title of his video. So I tuned in to kind of hear what he was talking about. So he was kind of explaining his thoughts. Then he kind of got into this LeBron James thing, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James thing. And then I think he brought up the thing about skill. And as he was talking, I was getting annoyed because I'm like, how is this even a conversation? And then I remembered that a number of years ago, there was a segment that they had on FS1 when Shannon Sharpe was there with Skip Bayless. And the name of this segment was Skip and Shannon Disagree. Kobe is more skilled than LeBron James. And I had remember seeing this, but something told me to go rewatch it. So I decided to rewatch it. And as I was listening to Shannon Sharpe's analysis, I realized that only a clown would make these kind of takes, or somebody being paid to support LeBron would make these kind, because they were so bad and so stupid that I'm like, you have to be getting paid to do this, because nobody would embarrass themselves like this for free. Like nobody would. But apparently Shannon seemed to be serious. I want you guys to listen to one of the worst 3 minutes in NBA history of somebody talking basketball. Take a listen to Shannon Sharpe here.
Is assisting the basketball, is that a skill? Is rebounding the basketball, is that a skill? So
somewhat, yeah.
Because the way I'm looking at it, footwork on the block or footwork to create a shot, basketball is more than that. If you just look at the numbers, LeBron averages 2 more points a game, 2.5 more assists a game, 2 more rebounds a game. He's 6% better from the floor, and he's 1.5% better from the three-point line. Joy Taylor, did you know LeBron James is a better three-point career shooter than one Kobe Bryant?
Except for the
whoa! If you look up the postseason stats, don't do it, Skip. Don't you look up those postseason numbers.
I already did.
Yeah, you'll be disappointed.
Kobe's a little ahead of him.
You'll be disappointed.
He's a touch ahead of him.
If you don't mind me asking, has Kobe Bryant always been the best player on his team? Because he won 5 titles. He won 5, Joy. I just need to know why he wasn't Finals MVP in all of those. Oh, was it because he had the most dominant player to ever play the game of basketball on the roster? Hold on. He played 20 years. I'm trying to see. Played 20 years. Got 11 first-team All-NBAs, 1 MVP. LeBron James just finished 15. He's about to have 12 first-team All-Pros, 4 MVPs with 3 Finals MVPs. I'm trying to figure the skill other than footwork on the block or creating space in which, okay, you want to say more creative dunker? Okay, fine. That's a skill. Dunking is a skill. Being creativity, winning the dunk contest. But if you look at this, Skip Bayless, come on. Are we for real here? Are we seriously for real? Now, could he get hotter and light up the board like no one probably could? Sure. He can get hot. Going for 81 lets you know he could get hot. 62 3/4 lets you know. His last game of his career, he had 60 points. I ain't going to tell nobody he took him 50 shots to get it, but who am I? I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. That was a great, we're in Hollywood. We love good endings. We love what's that Julia Roberts and Richard Gere movies?
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, we love those kind of endings, Joy.
Very realistic.
So why would I ever do that? Why would I ever tell somebody that Kobe had 60 points in his final game and it took him 50 shots to do it? Why would I rain on somebody's parade? I want people to remember their heroes in the greatest form possible. So therefore, I would never tell anybody Kobe scored 10 more points than he took shots. And talking about he's more skilled than LeBron.
But you just did.
I said that out loud?
Yeah, you're raining right on that parade.
Oh, cut my mic, Healy.
You're raining fire on that parade.
All I do is tell the truth, Skip. I spit this venom. Hey, I spit this venom up here. I tell the truth.
Yeah, you do, LeShannon.
So help me.
So, let's be clear about this. Kobe did not like a post that said Kobe is better than LeBron, right? Let's be clear.
Yeah.
More skilled.
Okay.
So we're going to have to start there. But actually, let's start from the start because to me, bigger picture, this was classic LeBron-esque passive-aggressive Kobe, which he just flat-on aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say. I cannot tell you how bad that was. I cannot explain to you just how ridiculous it was listening to Shannon Sharpe here. I mean, it was horrible, his arguments. Horrible. And the worst part about it is I think Shannon was being absolutely disingenuous. I think he was just lying. Once he said about a week or two ago that he's playing a character on TV, I'm like, okay, this must be part of the act. You cannot be a serious person saying the things that Shannon Sharpe was saying, but was meant like you're expecting people to take you seriously. Let's just go through some of the things that he said. Shannon Sharpe, in his argument, said LeBron averages more points, more rebounds, and assists. What does that have to do with stats? What does that have to do with stats? He started talking about MVP. What does that have to do? I mean, what does that have to do with skills? You're bringing up stats to explain skill. Like, I'm confused. And then later on in the same sound, he's like, if you need somebody to score 81, yeah, Kobe would do. So how would Kobe do that? How would he do that? Shannon Sharpe wasn't being serious. Okay. If you think Kobe and LeBron are even in the same universe in terms of skill, you don't understand what you're watching when it comes to basketball. You don't. You don't really understand it at all. You have like a very elementary level level of understanding of basketball. You're a basketball neophyte. You don't know what you're watching. No NBA fan with more than 2 brain cells would tell you that LeBron is even in the same ballpark as Kobe Bryant when it comes to skill. It's not even remotely close. At all. At all. Kobe's skills, Kobe, you can make an argument, is the most skilled basketball player that ever lived. You could make an argument for that. You know, you have Akeem Olajuwon up there as well. Obviously, you have the big fundamental. You have Kyrie Irving. You have Michael Jordan. And I think that Kobe is probably more skilled than all of them. Yes. Kobe's counters were, there's nobody that has that kind of counter package. Nobody. Right now, Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. But when it comes to skill, I think he stands alone. Kobe Bryant was skilled. First of all, defensively, he was incredibly skilled as an on the ball defender. When it came to playing angles, he was incredibly skilled. He was incredibly skilled at playing defense, even with his offhand, like Scottie Pippen. What do I mean by that? Offhand meaning making blocks with his left hand to avoid contact. Go watch some of Kobe's plays. Go look at Kobe pick up Dwayne Wade full court. That's just his defensive prowess. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant's ball handling. You can't compare LeBron's ball handling to Kobe Bryant's, but they're not even remotely in the same universe. You've watched LeBron get stripped so many times. It's laughable. I mean, for God's sakes, LeBron James got stripped at a camp out there, I think in China or somewhere, by like a teenager. Like what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? So Kobe Bryant is a way more skilled defender, way more skilled ball handler. Let's get to shooting. Kobe Bryant had every shot that ever existed in basketball. He had it all. He had every single shot you could think of that guy had. Every single shot. Even with his left hand, every single shot he had in his offensive repertoire. Then let's get to his post game. You can't even compare the two. His post game footwork is impeccable. Impeccable. And why was Kobe's foot game so excellent? Because he also played football, like soccer, which also helped with his footwork. You can't compare. So for Shannon Sharpe to even say that and to listen to the arguments that he was making, it was almost buffoonish. He's using elementary school arguments. Like these are arguments you expect to hear from people from GOAT James Kingdom or something. I mean, it was really pitiful. Really pitiful. Are you joking? Kobe? Are you even joking? It's not, to even suggest such means you don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, even LeBron, even a sober-minded LeBron fans will tell you LeBron is not as skilled as Kobe, and it's not even close. LeBron's scoring is predicated on, his game is predicated on physicality, athleticism. It's not predicated on skill. It's predicated on bully ball, basically. Bully ball. People are talking about, LeBron shoots a high percentage from three. Most of his threes, he's wide open. Because nobody believes he's even going to make the shot. So a lot of them, they're just wide open. A lot of them, they're just watching him shoot. A lot of them. They're just like, okay, let's see. Is he going to make this one? Oh, he made it. You want to compare? Go look at Kobe highlights versus LeBron highlights. Go look at how they score. It's two totally different things. That's why Kobe had 4 50-point games in a week. In 1 week, he had 4. And 260 plus. He had 4 50-plus games in 1 week. 260-plus games in 1 week. Like, what are we talking about here? Kobe has more 40-point games than Stephen Curry and LeBron James combined. What are we talking about here? Like, I thought that was really bad. But it was a quick refresher I wanted to give you guys. Because these are the type of people that younger fans were following to say that LeBron, these were the people arguing on your back. Listen to the arguments. That was one of the worst 3 minutes of basketball analysis I have ever heard. I mean, you got to go to like Ryan Hollins to find something worse than that. It was horrible. Started bringing up when was LeBron ever the worst player on his team? What does that have to do with skills? What does that have to do with skills? And if you need a year, 2011, the year Dwayne Wade led the Miami Heat in scoring in the playoffs. That year, if you need a year. What are we talking about? Oh my God, bro, that was terrible. And it was embarrassing at the same time.